All right. Use basic identities to simplify the expression. So 10, cotangent of x times tangent of x. So I always want to think of if there's a way that I can rewrite things.
Yes.
So how could I do that? To try to cancel things and make it as simple as possible.
Maybe you could like change cotangent of x with like 1 over cosine over sine.
Yep. 1 over tangent of x times tangent of x cancels equal to 1.
Yes.
You could have also done cosine of x over sine of x times sine of x over cosine of x, and then everything would have canceled that way as well, but this was the simpler way to do it.
I feel like these are gonna get significant.
Oh, they are.
They get like.
Honestly,
Yeah, honestly, I hate.
I literally, this is my least favorite part. I love the first chapter of trig.
Cotangent of u, sine of u.
You.
I don't care what letter you use, or theta, x,
I
whatever.
would change it back
You
into
was
x.
ugly.
I know when it's anything other than x, I just get scared.
I'm like, why is it different?
It's literally just a variable. It doesn't
Makes
matter.
it significantly harder.
It does.
Let's change cotangent of u with like cosine u over sine u.
Yep, cosine u over sine u times sine of u. Sine cancels, left with cosine of u.
Who's
Just leave that out.
All right, 14. 1 minus cosine squared of u, or theta, this time theta, over sine of theta. You got the whole bag?
I mean, you can't call it a bag.
Well, when they're out, they're out.
I saw another bag in there.
Those are special balloons that are very expensive. You are not allowed to use those.
So these aren't your balloons, Ethan?
No, they're mine.
No, they're not.
He went,
They're actually the school's balloons because they're for physics class.
He said, I said, Ethan, are these yours? And he was like, yeah, they're mine.
Yeah, the other ones in there are special Pi Day balloons that you are not allowed to touch
Oh, well,
because they were like $20.
I kind of touched it. I didn't open it.
Okay,
Okay,
1 minus
That can be sine squared. How we can make it sine squared.
Yep. So sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. So 1 minus cosine squared would be equal to sine squared.
Oh, I see.
So sine squared of theta over sine of theta would be equal to
What?
just sine of theta. Wait, what did
Yep,
it be equal to?
yep.
Yeah.
sine of theta.
Oh, look at
Hold
this
on.
go.
Hold on. Could you repeat that?
Pause.
What part? Or all of it?
You just walked me
What
through it.
part?
Yeah.
Just
So sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1.
Right.
pause
So
for
1
what?
minus cosine squared would be equal to sine squared.
Please, this is easy.
Okay.
So 1 minus cosine squared would be equal to sine squared.
Okay, I see that.
So then sine squared divided by sine would be sine.
Oh no, he's got like a lump on his face now.
I wonder when we're doing our solos.
Oh my
All
god.
right, 16.
I haven't even been able to practice because I'm
March
sounding
is-
like a dying.
Sine squared of u plus tangent squared of u
March is next
plus cosine squared of u divided by secant of u.
week. Got it, Peyton.
Yeah, that's my next week.
This is a big one. I don't like it.
Go figure. The copier is out of order again.
Is the last one cosine?
Hasn't it been out of order for like the past 2 years?
Yes, and they literally put our original one back in, and it's.
Yeah. Sine
They were like,
and
"Oh, it's
I
working."
didn't know it was a T.
No, it's
We're
not.
getting-
I saved this for physics class next year.
Same one balloon.
I need more than one,
Buy
so.
a new one.
Well, I
I'm
might
about
be
to
taking
bed.
physics next year.
I'm definitely.
I'm
Not
probably
me.
taking physics.
I'm 110% taking physics next year.
I don't know about
We'll have
those
fun.
lots,
It'll
but-
be fun. It'll be a good time.
Hey, more
All right, suggestions on the top.
Suggestions.
looking.
Well, we look back.
I'm suggesting. So like maybe.
Maybe.
Look for, is there a Pythagorean identity in the top?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Is there?
Oh, there
Yes,
is.
there is.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
can
Yeah,
you make
we can,
the cosine squared theta
Exactly.
plus sine squared theta equal to 1, and then it'll equal
It's
to
gonna
1
be
plus tan squared theta secant
secant
squared
squared.
Yes.
theta on top. Sorry, that was a lot of
Yep.
explaining. to get
So
to
sine
one.
squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. So I have 1 plus tangent squared over secant. So 1 plus tangent squared is, you said secant squared, divided by secant, which would be equal to secant.
Ooh, that's smart. Who made this up? Because they're gonna die tomorrow.
They're probably already
I
dead.
think they're already dead.
Bring them back
Just
to
gonna
life and kill
revive
them
them,
again.
you know.
All right.
I need a lot.
Simplify the expression to either 1 or negative 1. 18. Secant of negative x, cosine of negative x.
Jared, it's like you want to cause problems.
He does. That's his life goal.
What were the instructions?
Simplify it to be equal to either 1 or negative 1. So basically the same thing. It's just telling you that the answer is either going to be 1 or negative 1. Wee.
Becomes
Okay, well, we can.
Secant minus x
Yeah.
equals secant x.
So
Secant.
secant and cosine are both ones that if it's of negative whatever, the negative just goes away completely.
And then we can do. And then we. Yeah. Okay.
So secant of x is 1 over cosine of x times cosine of x cancels, so it's equal to 1.
Gosh, I wrote the wrong thing.
No, we've been through this.
What? Wait, we've been through this.
We've
You
been-
had to say
this
that
already
before?
happened.
Yes, we've had this conversation at least 8 other times.
You did it.
Yes, we have.
I read it like one time.
No, we've had it multiple. You ask me all the time, can I put water in this? And I tell you every time, no.
The answer's
No,
always gonna be
Jake.
the same.
Would you accept?
Jake, you just want chaos.
No.
Sanitizer.
I feel like that's
Literally alcohol, it'll just break it down.
Oh, it'll be a little experiment. See when it explodes.
That's for chemistry.
Sounds like a chemistry experiment, and I'm not the chemistry teacher. Thank God. But
Josh, take
I like chemistry, but I would not want to teach it.
Chemistry is difficult.
Okay.
Fill it up with alcohol and just throw it at Jake. See what happens.
All right, 22. Secant squared of negative x minus tangent squared of x.
We can turn that into. Can we turn that into secant squared? Like. Secant
Like get rid of the negative?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Because secant of, you can think of this as secant of negative x squared. So yes, you can. So that's going to be secant squared of x
Okay.
minus tangent squared of
Oh my
x.
goodness, it equals 1.
How, what?
Wow.
Because of one of the Pythagorean identities, because 1 plus tangent squared equals
Oh,
secant
I see
squared.
it.
So, switch it around.
It's magic.
It is magic.
How do they just make it work?
I mean, magic is usually fun. This is just, this is like on the line.
On the line. It's nowhere near the fun line.
You're right.
I guess fun is subjective.
All right.
Yeah, some kids fun. Somewhere else is doing Kumon lessons.
No,
What is
not
that?
the girl that's like,
Gosh,
we should do
she's
30
like-
minutes of reading.
So,
You know what cool one?
24.
Alright, so it's like a learning enrichment center
24.
ran by
These ones say to simplify the expression to either a constant or a basic trig function. Support your result graphically.
No, not
No?
support.
Graphically. No.
So we're just gonna simplify.
Yay.
Lovely.
All right, so 24, 1 plus tangent of x all over 1 plus cotangent of x.
So like,
Okay, so can we do it, like, do they have to be square to use the Pythagorean identities? Okay, so we can't.
So the Pythagorean identities only work because they are squared.
Okay.
Yes.
so like,
I would have done that all wrong then.
x, you can like change that to like 1 over tangent x, and then do something from
How about sine over cosine?
there. Oh,
Yeah,
Mm.
that probably would help.
So 1 plus sine x over cosine x all over 1 plus cosine x over sine x. Now what?
Don't they
Like,
cancel?
do the
Nope.
thing,
Never mind. Oh, they don't. cancel.
like, multiply by the reciprocal?
Can't do that yet.
Oh.
The 1 plus doesn't let me do that.
Oh,
you
so
just take
multiply.
How do I add those things together?
Oh,
How do I add that together?
Probably did not wait.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to multiply this by cosine x over cosine x. And I'm going to multiply the bottom one by sine x over sine x. So I have cosine x over cosine x. Or, well, here, I'm going to do this to save some writing. Plus sine x. So I have cosine x plus sine x over cosine x all over sine x plus cosine x over sine of x.
Goodness gracious.
This is fun time.
This is where we implemented the all over.
I was doing it this morning in Algebra 2, and they were not as excited about the all
Because they
over.
don't get it.
They're like, what do you mean all over?
I mean, yeah, true. Why would, Christian, you're right. Why were we getting excited? It's
This was
terrible.
fun to say.
Okay, so I get what we're doing now. Okay, so then we can cross out the cosines.
No.
We can't.
No.
What happens when I divide by a fraction? I do what?
Wait, why
Multiply
can't-
by the reciprocal.
Why can't you? Wait, why can't you do that?
Because it's not true math.
No, like the two cosines on top, they cancel out.
These?
Yeah.
You can't do that. That's literally the same problem we had here.
No, we
What?
just made it to where
They're being added, so you can't cancel.
Okay,
Okay, so cosine x plus sine x
all the time.
over cosine x times sine of x over sine x plus cosine x. Now, Josh, what can I do?
Can we cancel out
What?
No.
the plus stuff?
This and this?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm left with sine x over cosine x, which is
Oh, tangent. Yeah.
tangent of x.
Someone's gonna write a story about this.
Like- This is like my 500th reason. Like I don't.
That was just the first problem in that section, in case anybody wanted to know.
Lovely.
There's no way they're still told.
There is a way.
Yeah, there's definitely a way.
What, you don't like being in here with us?
I know.
Well, I
Sid.
don't-
I know. Sid. You put words in.
He already spends 2 hours in here every day, so he probably doesn't want to spend another one.
That's true.
You're putting words in my mouth.
However, next year you might spend at least 2 hours in here. You probably also still spend 2 hours in here next year.
I will.
Yeah.
Calculus.
Are you
I'm
taking
taking.
calculus?
Yes.
I'm taking calculus.
Yeah, me too.
All right, 26. Secant squared of u minus tangent squared of u all over cosine squared of e plus sine squared of e.
I don't like saying my answers out loud.
Who said my answer's out loud?
And
Because
they're
I get
wrong.
scared.
Well,
I'm about to bombard the conversation.
like sit
Is that
down.
V on the
Don't
bottom?
even say.
More power to you.
More power to ya.
Is that a V on the bottom?
What?
Is it a V on the bottom?
They couldn't possibly have this
Yeah.
problem.
Oh no.
It's possible.
Oh wait, they're not done yet?
No.
Wait, you said yeah when he asked you if it was a V or a U. You just said yeah.
It's
He
just
said,
not
is it a
different,
V?
though. It's not
Oh,
different.
okay.
V.
It's U on top, V on bottom, but it's not gonna matter.
Good.
Oh, I just put X in it.
I also.
That's
I-
fine.
I should do that.
All right, what is secant squared minus tangent squared?
Oh my gosh, it's 1.
1.
1. And what's cosine squared plus sine squared?
1. No way.
So it's 1.
Oh my goodness.
Yay.
Why is it a diamond?
It was like.
You have a Christmas tree.
Why are you messing with
Good.
I think that one might be a little easier to solve.
I still probably could.
Yeah.
Till you end up with it backwards.
Yeah.
Your whole tree ends up upside down and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's just a problem.
Alright, use the basic identities to change the expression to one involving only sines and cosines. Then simplify to a basic trig function.
Drop your Hershey, bro.
That's a Kit Kat.
Or whatever it is.
You're wrong again!
Okay.
Wrong!
28. Sine of theta
I don't need this.
minus tangent of theta times cosine of theta
Physics next week.
plus cosine of pi over 2 minus theta.
Makes it like it's so-
It's a little too far. The lips have to be up more.
Where? Oh.
Okay, what do we do first?
I know from writing it.
I don't know, what do we do first?
I know what we can do.
Oh, we can do
Wait a minute.
something.
I know what we can do.
We do
I'm
something
not
like
gonna be
Oh.
wrong. Okay, that cosine can equal
Sine
sine
of
of
theta.
yeah, sine of theta. Yeah.
I mixed it up so bad. I don't know what I did.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait, is it upside down?
It's like this. It's this part right here. I can't get to this proper location.
You play with it long enough, it'll just go back. That's why I said if it ends up upside down, it's a problem.
To its proper location.
So now you can like.
Oh, I got it. Never mind.
So obviously sine of theta is going to stay the same.
Yeah.
Now what do I do with this middle part?
Oh, I know. You gotta.
What do you do, Josh? What do you do?
You gotta.
You got Josh. Come on, come on.
You gotta.
Oh, wait, I actually
Wait,
know how to do this.
So
Can
it's
it-
tangent
does
it
of
equal-
theta is sine theta
It
over
equals-
cosine.
How did you like
Bless
that?
you.
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Wait, does
Thanks.
it equal?
Turn, yeah, sine over cosine. Cross out the cosine.
You try, Josh. You
Now, how do I do this on the
No, I
other
guess I
side?
couldn't have done that.
Were you doing something wrong?
I was gonna take.
So
like,
then
the
this is equal to
closure
what?
identity and like move around.
Sine of theta.
I guess I
Minus-
actually-
wait,
Bro.
what? Sine theta.
So sine of theta
Yeah.
minus sine of theta goes away.
So just equal sign of theta.
So all you're left with is sine of theta.
Wait, so
So
closure.
basically, it's just a bunch of
Smartness right there.
canceling.
Well, this didn't technically cancel like in the sense of what this canceled. I was just showing that positive sign and negative sign cancel each other.
Could you have taken the tangent times the cosine of theta? Could you have taken the quotient identity and switched it around to equal sine of theta?
I
Because
think you're
tangent
done.
equals sine over cosine, so
This is easier. Why would you do that?
I don't know. Well, that's the first thing that like I didn't even have to think about it. I just looked at it and it.
I mean, if it works for you, sure.
I mean,
Why?
it gave me the same answer.
Well,
That's the first thing that popped into my head.
as long as it works and you show your work, sure, go for it.
Okay. Probably won't do that. I'll forget.
They're done talking.
Mhm.
I think they're done talking.
Many things.
I don't even
JR,
care
how
no
would
more.
you even know? You hate Eden.
32.
Oh my gosh.
Secant squared of x cosecant of x over secant squared of x plus cosecant squared of x.
You can either get there.
This seems long.
Seems suspicious.
So like,
Oh.
Is
You got-
it-
did you finish your journal entry?
Huh?
Did you finish your journal entry?
Yeah.
Jake,
You know he finishes.
Don't
yours.
ask.
You can finish your
I'm not saying
journal.
he does, Josh
Don't
did.
ask.
how many you got?
That's definitely a no.
How many you got?
Like I did all of the what's it called?
So he didn't do anything.
Unions.
Oh, what?
The union.
Oh, so you did
side.
5.
Yeah.
How many have you done?
I did like 4.
I finished mine Saturday.
All right, how do I do this?
Okay.
Gotta be written in terms of sine and cosine. That's what the instruction said. So,
Right.
which is kind of also why this had to be this way, Josh.
One.
So how do I rewrite secant in terms of sine and cosine?
We
One
can
plus.
1 over
No. Yep, I was.
1 over cosine squared of theta.
Yeah.
Yes. Cosecant,
Oh my god.
Ethan, you're not funny. You're a bully.
cosecant,
Just laughed at me.
That
the sine and
was just
cosine.
1 over sine, right?
all over
Ew.
1 over cosine squared of x plus 1 over sine squared of x. Now what?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Nope.
No.
Wrong.
Oh, do we have to like
Cancel.
same
Oh wait.
What is it?
denominator?
I need a common denominator on the bottom.
So
Oh, we can't make that just equal.
so do we
You just
have
square
to
the
multiply
top-
them
oh, wait,
both
no.
by different things? Like, can we do that one by sine squared and then the other one by cosine squared?
Yep.
Oh, hold on.
And the top is just getting multiplied. So the top is just going to be 1 over cosine squared of x times sine of x. So then the bottom is going to end up with a common denominator, so I can write it all as 1. So the denominator of the bottom is going to be sine squared of x times cosine squared of x.
I don't like this.
The top is just going to be the stuff added together, so sine squared plus cosine squared. Sine squared plus cosine squared is
1.
1. So I'm just going to save writing some stuff, I'm just going to cross it out and write the 1. Now what?
Then we can multiply by reciprocal.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So 1 over cosine squared of x sine of x times sine squared of x cosine squared of x over 1.
Yeah, Jake, this is gonna pop.
Yeah, preferably not in my ear.
By the end of the day,
Would be
it's
great.
gonna pop. I'm not gonna pop it.
No.
I'll give you 10 demerits.
She'll do it. She'll
Is
do
that
it
your
too.
man?
That's an automatic detention.
Oh.
How much is a reprimand?
6, I think.
10, because it's an automatic detention.
Never mind.
Oh, same as Marshall. Apparently, she just go straight to recommend.
She's like
Because a demerit doesn't do
Merits
anything.
aren't worth. They're just like slips of paper. Like what are they?
I mean, it just tells your parent to do this.
Okay.
Well, cause we can cross out the cosine.
But we'll still have a sign left.
We do, yeah. So we're gonna. Is it just gonna
It's
be
just sine of x.
sine of x? Then
Yeah, because we can have a sign of it. I hate that.
we got there.
I can just hear that that's going to pop.
Or do
I
the
know.
other
Like
one.
I just. It's kinda
Why does that one only have one eye?
Because I didn't finish.
It's like winking.
Dude,
Oh,
the
that's
eyebrows.
it.
No, that's the eyebrows.
I know. What I'm
Sorry.
saying it's like winking because
Oh,
there's no
yeah.
other.
No,
yeah.
I-
Just say that.
Or it's like a cyclops.
It doesn't have a nose either.
Oh, wow.
Wait. What happened? What?
I squished it so many times.
Let's stop there.
I'm
Yay!
Wait.